Hey guys, Marsingan here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today we are here to talk a little bit about physical God Goku, the mythical beast himself, one of the best CURs in the game still currently. He released, of course, as the Saiyan Day unit in March of this year, 2023, and of course on Global, which is the version we are going to be talking about in this video, he has not returned yet. He has, however, just recently returned on JP. So, the subject of this video, I mean, you guys know, right? It's the title of the video, and you guys clicked on it, assumingly because that's the thing you wanted to see talked about. We are going to talk about whether or not God Goku is going to be on the Halloween banner that is coming out. It'll be, for me in the UK, Thursday morning. It could be late Wednesday evening, depending on where you are in certain parts of the US. Potentially super early in the morning, depending on which other parts you may be in. But yes, the Halloween banner is upcoming. We have a teaser for it in the news. And a lot of people were instantly surprised with the fact that the teaser that shows in the news is one of those very small, like the rectangular thumbnail type things, where it just shows, as we often get when, you know, we see a thing in the news for a big celebration, for a Dokkan Fest banner or something like that, only shows two characters. And those two characters are the Tech LR Vegito Blue and the STR LR Gogeta Blue. So a lot of people instantly saw that image and got a bit, you know, antsy on Twitter, being like, where's God Goku? Shouldn't God Goku be coming back on this banner? Because if we take a look back into last year, we can bring up, this is the schedule for last year's Halloween campaign, the fantastically spooky Dokkan campaign. And we can scroll down here and see that we have this is the thing I'm talking about, right? Like these small rectangular thumbnail type things that appear in a list of celebration info in the news. And quite clearly on last year's banner, here's Majin Vegeta, who was last year's Halloween unit. So, last year's Saiyan Day unit, I should say. He was featured, of course, on the Halloween banner. He made his return on this banner for Global. So, this banner came out on Global for Halloween around the same time as this other banner is coming out. I think it was a couple of days earlier, actually. Around the time we got the Peppy Gals banner was when this Halloween banner actually dropped. But this was the first return of Majin Vegeta on Global. I believe the official release date of that banner was like the 20th of October. And this saw his first return on the Global banner. So this banner wasn't necessarily the greatest when it came out, but of course the big thing, the reason why we wait for these units to return sometimes, is regardless of the banner that they're returning on, it means they are going to be available with red coins. And I know a lot of people out there listening to this, watching this, people in my community have told me on streams and stuff like that, a lot of people are waiting for God Goku to return because they just want to buy him with coins, right? They've been saving their red coins for him. Even if he's on a terrible banner that they don't want to summon on, they're going to be able to pick up those copies with the coins and then either dupe him up if you've only got him to 55%, or get him for the first time if you didn't get him during Saiyan Day. Because obviously, you know, the whole point of this is that's the only banner he's been on. So if you didn't get him, you don't have him. He hasn't come back. So this is the banner that he returned on last year, the Saiyan Day unit returned on, was the Halloween banner. So if we were just going by our expectations throughout the year so far, leading up to this point, we all expected him to return on this banner. Hey guys, Ningen here. Just wanted to give a quick shout out to my second channel. For those of you guys who have not seen it yet, I do have another channel. It's called Ningen Plays. Over here is where I'll be doing all sorts of non-Dokkan related stuff. Because obviously YouTube doesn't like it when you build a channel with one game and then start playing a bunch of other games. So since I enjoy streaming so much, if I'm going to be playing other random games like new releases, DLC, all that kind of stuff, I now have a place where I stream that stuff live. So if you do enjoy hanging out in the normal streams, you like the vibes with the community, do come over and check out the second channel. We're working our way towards 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So hopefully you guys will come and check it out. Obviously, you know, just like the normal streams, we still talk about all sorts of stuff over here. So if you want to drop by and talk about the latest Dokkan news and all that kind of stuff while chilling out and watching me play other games, this is the place you can come and do so. So hopefully I will see you guys there. Go ahead and check it out. Now, some interesting points are, obviously for JP, So this banner came out on the 20th of October last year. For JP, Majin Vegeta did not return until this banner, which was of course the Tech Bardock Dokkan Fest. You can see here, he is featured alongside the Bardock and Tora, Super Vegeta, Broly, AGL Bardock, and Tech Frieza. So Bardock was pretty good on release. I think this was not necessarily the worst banner to summon on. Kind of funny that it has like all of these other Saiyan Day units on it as well, Broly and Bardock. And Super Vegeta very much aged out by this point. So, I mean, realistically, when this banner came out, you were primarily summoning for Bardock, maybe to get Majin Vegeta, because everyone else on the banner pretty outdated at this point. But this banner, if we look at Tech Bardock, this banner came out on the 31st of October, so 11 days later on JP. So the Saiyan Day unit actually returned first on Global last year as opposed to JP. Now, we've had a bit of a switch around this year, because this is the campaign that's ongoing on JP. I think we technically are into part 2, the Autumn's Great Harvest campaign. So you can see here we got to the 5th of October and we saw the release of the INT Dokkan Fest Tournament of Power Androids, and on their banner, there he is, God Goku returned. So God Goku returned on JP on the 5th of October, so much earlier than both versions last year by a full 2 weeks compared to when he returned on Global. But this is the banner that he returned on JP. Now, a lot of people started to get a bit worried because based on the time slots, unless Global starts accelerating things because of the potential, you know, well, we know the sync is planned for the future. We just don't know when. So the potential ramp up in content could happen at any time to start catching up Global. But a lot of people were worried that if, you know, things don't start coming out faster, this Androids banner is probably not coming out until, what, January? Maybe February? Which means God Goku would only be returning for the first time like a month before the Saiyan Day banner comes out. And obviously previous Saiyan Day headliners are always featured. At least the one previous is always featured. And often some of the older ones as well, like Majin Vegeta might be featured on the 2024 Saiyan Day banner alongside God Goku. But then we'd be looking at a worldwide situation for Global where we're waiting like 11 months, 10 to 11 months for the unit to come back for the first time. And obviously that would be terrible, especially when we know that the sync is on the table, right? That is a thing that they are planning to do in the future. They have told us that they're planning to do that. So it'd be very, very strange if one of the side effects of, you know, these release schedules, especially going by JP and God Goku returning on this banner, it would be a very weird side effect that he returns for Global way later than the Saiyan Day unit returned last year, and also way later than he returned for the first time on JP. Because last year, like we showed, right, Majin Vegeta came back first on Global, but it was by, what, like less than 2 weeks. It was like 11 days. So if he returns on this banner for Global, we're going to have been looking at, what, like 20 days, so not a huge deal, right? Somewhere between 2 to 3 weeks will have been the 2022 and 2023 gap between the two versions for the Saiyan Day unit returning. So if he comes back later than that, it would definitely be a Global Shaft. Hopefully once the sync comes out, that meme can die forever and we never have to mention Global Shaft or Global Shenanigans ever again, but who knows. So the big thing that have got people worried about the potential return for God Goku is this is a banner that dropped on JP a little while ago around the time of the Trunks celebration, I think. And this, of course, looks very similar to the banner that we could be getting in the news on Global, because they're featured prominently on either side of the logo is Vegito and Gogeta. But the thing about this banner is this is not the exact banner that Global is going to get. Or at least I think it's not, right? There's no 100% guarantee. But this was a very strange banner that, as you can see, was a one-time only summon for 100 stones. You can see it says here, one time only. 100 stones. These were the featured main characters, and then you also got a guaranteed one of these like side banner units. I think did you get a guaranteed LR out of the pool as well? But LRs were in the general pool. You got a guaranteed, I think was it guaranteed featured was like the 9th card. Yeah, one guaranteed featured, one guaranteed none from the group. Yeah, it does say here. So the multi gave you, how many units was it? It wasn't 10, right? I should have got all the details up for this previous, so it doesn't really matter because we're not going to get this banner, but it was a one-time summon. If it was 100 stones, I can assume it was 20 units instead of 10, right? But the guaranteed featured, you'd get one of these in the final slot, and then the slot before that was one of these units guaranteed out of this pool. And some of these guys are pretty decent for the side banner units, right? Now, for Global, we know, because it's in the news as well, that we are getting ticket packs for this banner. And you know what other banner we got ticket packs for? Yeah, that's right. This banner. So from what we can see in the news and what we know from the global structure, it makes way more sense that the Halloween banner is going to follow the same format as it did last year, as opposed to them dropping this banner and just calling it the global Halloween banner. Now, it could, I don't think it will, but bear in mind, nothing is confirmed. The banner could just drop exactly like this. It's 100 stones, one-time summon, all these featured units, no God Goku, and Global just got a ticket pack for it as well, because Global often gets ticket packs for things that JP doesn't. Well, Global always gets tickets for things JP doesn't, because JP doesn't get tickets, but Global doesn't get tickets for every single banner. It just seems less likely that a banner like this, that is like a one-time deal with a larger size multi, with guaranteed featured, it's not the kind of thing that you would think throw a ticket pack on it. I mean, I suppose, to be fair, Global kind of throws tickets at everything, except, of course, the most recent LR banner now that we have the pity system. So it'll be interesting to see how that changes going forwards. But there is a ticket pack available for this. So basically, when you look at all of the evidence that is on the table in terms of comparing to last year, looking at the schedule ahead and where things are going to come out, it would be a huge L for Global if this banner drops and it either just looks exactly like this, or even if it doesn't have this one time only, doesn't have guaranteed featured, but the lineup is just exactly like this, and then it's a normal 50 stone summon banner. I mean, aside from the fact this would be a pretty easy skip, it would be a good option to pick up the 5 years with coins if you don't have them, because obviously with their easy A's they are incredibly good. But my guess is that this banner that is coming out for Global is going to be like this, but will have God Goku on it, and is not going to have this stuff with the featured secondary unit. It's just going to be a normal banner, 50 stones for a multi of 10 characters. The ticket is either going to be the multiple tickets that you buy in packs of 7 and do 7 tickets for 7 units, or the one where you buy like a big premium ticket and you get 20 units with a guaranteed featured. Something like that. We won't know for sure until the banner actually comes out, because even in the data download, we usually only see the asset for the ticket itself and not what the format is to use it. So my prediction is that it's going to be a banner that looks very much like this, but with the normal 50 stone per multi, and one of these featured units at least will be changed, obviously one of them to God Goku. So, I mean, this guy hasn't been around for a while, Tech LR Gogeta. He's a bit outdated now, needs an easy A. I could easily see them replacing him on this banner with God Goku, because if we look at the units on the banner, the 3 LRs are obviously the 3 big ticket units, and the other ones are just kind of the older, you know, featured SSRs. Like, Path to Power Kid Goku is still really good. Super Saiyan 3 Goku can be decent still in some situations. The tech androids can still be useful. Ginyu can still be okay. Like, Ginyu Force can still do some of the tougher missions. Boo has forever lacked a really good team, so is unfortunately kind of was left to waste after he came out. And Int Gogeta is a little bit too outdated at this point. I, of course, not mentioned the ROF Blues, because they have been a bit of a joke ever since their original release, which is really unfortunate. But any of these other featured units could change, right? They're not really that important. But these 3 LRs are the big ticket units. I could easily see them changing Tech Gogeta for God Goku, or keeping him on the banner and changing one of these other SSRs, right? I mean, it would be great for everyone if they changed, like, the ROF Blues to God Goku, because they're probably the unit on the banner that people would want the least out of all of these, right? Because at least in Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, he's going to get an easy A way before any of these other units featured on here, and then his easy A could be really good. So I'd rather he still be on the banner than the ROF Blues, to be fair. So they could be replaced. Any of these units, apart from Vegito and Gogeta, could be replaced by God Goku, because we've already seen the promotional artwork that shows them on the banner. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. What do you think the banner is going to look like? What do you think the format will be? I just think it's very, very unlikely that after returning God Goku on JP this month, and based on last year when the Saiyan Day unit returned in October for both versions, I just think it's very, very unlikely that they're not going to return God Goku for Global in October. So the only other options I guess we could see is that he could be added to Trunks' Dokkan Fest banner, which is at the beginning of November. Like, we'll probably see Trunks within the next 2 weeks. which I guess would add value to Trunks' banner, because I think a lot of global players will probably be skipping him, especially because Heroes and then LR Full Power Super Saiyan 4 Goku come out later in November. They could even add him to LR Full Power Super Saiyan 4 Goku's banner, which would make that banner have even more value, because I know a lot of people are looking forward to summoning for him. And that probably wouldn't be the end of the world for him to return for the first time end of November instead of October, but I think he will be on Global's Halloween banner. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Are you waiting for him to return so you can summon, regardless of what banner he's on? Are you waiting for him to return so you can get copies with coins? Let me know down below in the comments. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Master Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.